Now that the two APIs are working for password reset, let's focus on the front end. And the logic is going to be like this. First, we are going to hit this endpoint for the password reset. And that is, the user is going to provide his or her email address. Then from there, we're going to send a link with a token to the user's email address. And then inside the email address, the user is going to click on a link to render a component to provide the new password. So let's begin with the entering of the user's email address first, and then we continue from there. So over here, that is on the login page, we are going to provide a link down here. And we will put a link over here by saying that forgot password. When a user click on that, it's going to open a component. So let's get into the login page, which is component, users, and login. Below the sign in with Google, I will say forgot password link. And you're going to use link component from React Router DOM. And we will say that forgot password question mark. And then the path is going to be equal to forgot password. And let's see, supposed to be /. And let's see. Well, let me provide or place it not inside the link. So let me remove these guys and then place it here. Let's see. There we go. Let me add some Tailwind CSS classes as class name, margin top, provide 5, and then text-indigo, provide 500 opacity. And there we go. I think I can provide, let's say 10 margin top. So when a user click on this, we are going to render the component. And I have the component for you as a template. If you get into the template, and then we have two components. One component is request reset password, and one is the reset password. This component is going to render a form for the user to enter his or her password. So let's go ahead and then render this path or this component. So inside the app.js, let's go ahead and then do that. For this one, you don't need to log in before changing your password because you have already forgotten your password. And then let's require it as that. And here, make sure that it matches the path we specified inside the link to click on. So now let's see, and we have the component as that because it matches the exact path here. As soon as the user click on this button, we are going to trigger this endpoint or the controller. So let's go ahead and then create the API service for it inside the API services, users, and here we go. Let me provide, I think I can copy this, and here as forgot password, and change this one to forgot password API, and the endpoint here is going to be forgot password, and there will be no params here. Remove it, and also remove this. Awesome. And the last one is going to be the reset. So here we pass in the email as email here, and lastly is for the actual reset as reset password API, and here as reset, and pass in the password. instead of email, it's going to be password. And that is it. We are done with the two APIs. So inside the request, we are going to handle the form. So let's get into the login in and let's copy the form handling. Let me copy everything inside this component and back to reset. Let's paste that. Let's import the required dependencies. And for this, it's going to be reset password API. Forgot rather, this one, yeah. And use for make. And we want the Yelp package also here. And for this one, we don't need the username, but we need the email. And here, email. And we will say email is required. Remove the password. And in here, we're going to pass in the email. So here as values.email. And let's remove this. So let's take this opportunity to avoid this. Anytime a user logs in, it takes the user to the profile, but we don't have that, but instead it is called dashboard. Awesome. So let's continue. Remove this. Okay, let's check for the message before. And on the form, here, all what we need is the email. So let's bring it back. For this one, we have done it many times. Bring this one back. And that is it. So let's bind the form, which is on submit. It's going to be formic.handle submit. Now let's see. Let's open the console, refresh, provide something like this. I want to make sure that the API is working. And I'm going to see an error here, response, and route not found on our server. What kind of route is that? So let's see. It's supposed to be post request. Yeah, it is right. Let me clear, try again. Error and response. User with this email doesn't exist. It's supposed to be Masintech. And we got different error, which is, I think, supposed to be C here. Let's try. And this time around, we got the message, password email sent. So let's avoid using the token because this is private. So in the users and forgot password, let's ignore this as that. And let me go ahead and provide the right email. And I got the message as that. When I click on this, I want to render a component where the user is going to provide his or her new password. But let's display some error messages to the user. So here, let's get into the login in. We have the messages here, so we can use them. And here, remove this, or let me maintain for the meantime. And up here, let's bring in the component loading, please wait. And for success is going to be, let's provide the actual message. So let me see. is going to be not this. Let me try again. It is on the data.message. Yeah, that is the actual message from the backend. It's going to be the user mutation, or you can make use of password mutation .data.message. Now let's see, and password sent to this email. I think I can modify something like sent to. So here for the password reset, yeah, sent to. Good. Try again. Good. But if I provide wrong password, we got the error message. Awesome.